NBC right now. Your local news at 5.
A designer drug that mimics the effects of smoking marijuana is sending many people to the emergency room. Details coming up.
Out on bail, the Kennewick ice cream truck driver accused of luring girls into his truck is back behind bars tonight. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Boggs.
Shane Ettinger, NBC Right Now, is taking a closer look at a trend that's sending many young people to our local emergency rooms.
Tracy Dial talked with an ER doctor at Kennewick General Hospital about synthetic marijuana or spice. She joins us now live with that story. Tracy.
Well, Shane and Meredith, spice is a common name for all sorts of herbal mixtures on the market that are meant to mimic the effects of smoking marijuana. Now, I'm live here on Clearwater Avenue in Kennewick, where within just a few blocks of each other, 2 head shops sell little packages like this one. We talked with one man who wished to remain anonymous about his experience with spice.
Well, it was really similar to regular marijuana, I gotta say. It's a lot more intense.
A lot more intense and a lot more dangerous.
One moment I was sitting in a chair, and the next I was looking at my friends crouched over me. Apparently I had gotten up, began yelling at a wall, tripped over my couch, and had a seizure.
That was the last time he touched the stuff. Worried about long-term damage, though, he got checked out at the hospital. Turns out he was fine, but ER Dr. Louis Cusa says more and more people are coming in with symptoms of the same drug.
They're confused. They're not don't know who they are, where they are, what's going on. They're just disconnected with reality.
Patients have also complained of headaches, hallucinations, or agitation. In extreme cases, the drug can cause cardiac arrest or kidney failure. It's packaged as potpourri or herbs made up of dried plant matter, but Dr. Cusa says the drug is anything but natural.
And they're sprayed with this synthetic cannabinoid that has, for the most part, untoward effects. We don't know what it does yet.
He explains the chemical mimicking THC binds to the body's receptors tighter and longer than the natural form of THC, which is found in marijuana.
There's no specific regulated quantity of synthetic sprayed on these herbs and these weeds. So they could be getting a minimal dose or they can be getting an extraordinarily high dose, and there's no way to know it.
Now, the DEA has made the 5 most common ingredients of the drug a controlled substance, rendering it illegal to buy, sell, or use. But it's a tricky game of cat and mouse, as manufacturers are constantly changing their recipes to sidestep those legal restrictions. Live in Kennewick, Tracy Dial, NBC Right Now.
Thanks, Tracy. Opening statements will begin tomorrow in the trial of a nanny accused of manslaughter. Attorneys selected a jury today for the Kelly Jacobson manslaughter trial. She's the nanny accused of killing a Richland toddler. Jacobson called 911 in June of 2011, saying that 1-year-old Ryder Morrison fell and hit his head. However, an autopsy found that the boy died of bleeding normally caused by whiplash and not a fall. The trial is expected to last 3 weeks. A Yakima County judge sentenced a Sunnyside man today to 6.5 years in prison for manslaughter. 21-year-old Juan Lopez was babysitting back in 2010 when he hit his girlfriend's 2-year-old son. The Sunnyside boy died from injuries to his torso. Lopez told officers that he hit the boy out of anger and sleep deprivation.
An ice cream truck driver accused of luring young girls into his truck is back behind bars tonight. The Benton County Clerk's Office says 41-year-old Maximino Castillo Murcia made bail last night and skipped his first court appearance this morning. Kennewick police arrested Castillo Murcia this afternoon. And Crime Stoppers need your help to find a Richland man who is wanted on charges related to domestic violence, including violating a protection order, assault, and failing to comply with a warrant. The Benton County Sheriff's Office says 42-year-old Nicholas Warren Thompson has brown eyes, brown hair, and blue eyes. He is 5'11" and 180 pounds. He also has multiple tattoos and scars. If you have any information on his whereabouts, call Crime Stoppers at 586-TIPS or 1-800-222-TIPS.
The Yakima County Jail will soon start housing inmates from the west side of the state. County commissioners have approved a 1-year contract with the city of Fife for low-risk inmates. Aaron Hilf joins us now with more on what it will mean for the county's ailing budget. Aaron.
Yeah, Shane, it's a small victory for jail officials and county commissioners, and they hope that it's a sign of more housing contracts to come in the near future. Now, this contract should bring an additional $700,000 in revenue, and other county departments I spoke to today say they hope that money is going to help their finances too.
Thanks, Aaron. The former mayor of Union Gap is finally calling it quits. Jim Lemon has resigned from the city council and has accepted a $38,000 settlement. Lemon wrote a resignation letter to the council this week saying he was leaving to avoid confusion over the city's government. Voters ended the strong mayor position in November, so Lemon took a temporary city council seat. It was another gorgeous day out today. Not too hot, not too cold, just right.
A nice spring day. Let's check in with Tim Adams now for our first look at our forecast. Hi, Tim. Well, the City of Pasco is moving forward with plans to improve the Road 68 corridor, and they want to include you in the process. Jane Sander joins us now with more details on the project's plans. Jane.
Shane, the City of Pasco is inviting the community to an open house tonight to share the details on the upcoming Road 68 project. The meeting will include a presentation to explain the roadway changes that are planned to improve traffic flow and safety. Some of the improvements include raised medians between Burton Boulevard and Sandifer Parkway and turn lane changes to Burton Boulevard. The city wants the community to learn more about the road improvements that are designed to keep them safe behind the wheel.
The changes coming up, we want to make sure they're aware of it. And just it's a good relationship between the public and the city to make sure everything we do is for the benefit of the public, and so they know about it, what's coming.
Funding for the project will come from a federal grant, and construction is scheduled to start this summer. If you can't make it out to tonight's meeting at Pasco City Hall at 6 p.m., there will be another open house on May 22nd. Live in the studio, Jane Sander, NBC Right Now.
Thanks, Jane. New at 6 tonight, as the days get longer and the temperatures get warmer, more people are hitting the road on their motorcycle, and law enforcement wants everyone on the roadways to be educated when it comes to motorcycle safety. We'll share some tips for riders and drivers to help them stay safe tonight at 6.
Education news, the fate of a brand new middle school in Ellensburg is coming down to the wire. If approved by voters, the nearly $39 million bond will pay for construction of a new school. Now, at last count, 59.7% of the voters are saying yes, less than half a percentage point shy of the supermajority the bond needs to pass. Northwest news, the clock is ticking for Washington lawmakers as they head into the final days of the legislative session with still no budget deal and other bills in play. Governor Jay Inslee says if lawmakers don't finish in time, there is no decision yet on when they might be called back for a special session. Lawmakers need to fill a projected budget deficit of more than $1.2 billion for the next 2-year budget, not counting additional money needed for a court-ordered requirement to increase funding for education.
Boeing says it will begin delivering 787s again in early May. The fleet of planes has been grounded since mid-January because of smoldering battery problems. Federal authorities have approved Boeing's redesigned battery system, and the company is now installing them on planes. A Delta Airlines Boeing 757 from Atlanta landed safely late last night at SeaTac Airport after reporting a problem with the wing flaps. An airline spokesman says a cockpit indicator warned of a potential problem related to the flap system. The Delta flight landed a little after midnight with 184 passengers and a crew of 6 on board.
A Manhattan Project National Historical Park is another step closer to becoming a reality. The House Natural Resources Committee passed the bill to create the national park today. The park would include the B reactor at the Hanford site and facilities in Tennessee and New Mexico. The bill will now be considered by the full House. Similar legislation is also making its way through the Senate.
Health alert tonight. Thousands of cities around the world are planning to participate in a global Tai Chi and Qigong Day. The event is designed to educate the public about the two practices. Tai Chi is an internal Chinese martial art, while Qigong focuses on posture and breathing. A local black belt instructor says that practicing the two techniques can be beneficial to your health.
There's been a lot of research done on many different diseases, Parkinson's, fibromyalgia, and they all have a positive response to Tai Chi and Qigong.
Now, if you want to participate in Tai Chi and Qigong Day, it is this Saturday at Keewaydin Park in Kennewick. The event starts at 10 a.m.
I have a class like that, and we start out with Tai Chi, too. You have to imagine there's a ball.
There you go. Still ahead tonight, we'll catch up with some Sesame Street characters who just can't stop singing.
And it's not too late for you to join in on the musical